I always put my computer on the table first and then have to remind myself, no, there's a desk. Use the desk, not the table. If you've ever stayed in a mini suite or a junior suite, you will know a lot of the times nothing about it is really sweet. Especially on cruise ships, I feel like the term suite is greatly misused to describe the accommodations, but the place I'm staying in right now is definitely a suite. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. And my 2 books of travel stories about things going right and horribly wrong while traveling around the world, getting stitches on a cruise ship, and Places Please are available on Amazon now. If you're up to date here on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, you'll know I am working on a theater project here in Stuttgart, Germany, which is sort of in the south of Germany. And the production company I'm working for has put me up in a pretty nice suite. I've been trying to go through this old brain of mine, and I have toured much larger suites than this, including some of the biggest suites in the world, I think, in the Atlantis Hotel in Dubai, but I don't think I've ever actually stayed in a hotel room that's been bigger than this. This is basically like an apartment, and I think it's bigger than a lot of people's apartment. But if you want to look at it as an apartment, there is something really important that's missing, and of course I'm going to show that to you too. So let me take you around this suite. Oh, and by the way, when this goes online, I'm still going to be staying here. If you live in the area, this is not an invitation to just show up here and knock on my door. Not only is that weird, but I'm also super busy on this project, and I don't really have time to hang out with people anyways. All right, now let me show you around. When you enter the suite, this is the curb appeal. This is what you see for your first impression. And actually, that's the front door that I just walked into, and there's a whole entryway here that I want to show you. Look at this, a complete entryway with a separate door that you can close. This really makes it feel more like an apartment or a flat than a hotel room. And I have to show you, the bathroom door is Morgan approved. It is a real solid non-see-through door that closes all the way. Let's look inside. The bathroom is very spacious. There's a television in the mirror. It does have one of these flat sinks though, and one reason I don't really prefer these flat sinks is because, first of all, if you want to just like get a pool of water in the sink to, I don't know, wash your face or to help you shave, you can't really do that with this, or you need so much water. And if you shave your face, all the little hairs, they stay in here like forever. The best way to get rid of them is to fill up a glass of water, and then you have to like pour it around the edges and let it all rinse down and then do it again. You know, these look nice and modern, but honestly, they're not really that practical. Don't you agree? That's a disadvantage of having this fancy flat sink. And speaking of fancy, there is a radio here and a television in the mirror. I've seen hotel room mirrors with televisions in them before where when the television was off, you couldn't even really tell it was there. This one, it's a little bit more evident, but there it is. Another sort of minus point is the shower has just this glass door, and every time I shower, I manage to flood this whole area of the bathroom. I've started just laying towels down here every time, and I've also seen that if I stuff a towel in between here, that does stop some of the water, but still, it's always wet here. Another thing that's been taking me a while to get used to in this place is the light switches. There are light switches like this all over the place, and it's kind of hard to tell what they're for. I cannot see that this one does anything. Yes, this display just came on, but it comes on no matter what button you press here. This is the light switch for the bathroom, and whenever you press it, the radio comes on automatically. And for the video, I've had to turn the volume all the way down so you can't hear like the radio in the background. But if you get up in the middle of the night and turn on the light, you're also going to be listening to the radio while you pee. Let's go out into the main area again. You can see this spacious living room. I mean, For a hotel room, it's spacious. That's the bedroom in the middle. I have a closet here. There's also a closet in the bedroom, and then a dining room table. Over here, there's another thermostat that controls the temperature inside the rest of the suite or room or flat or whatever you want to call it. And I swear, it's taking me a while to learn what all these other switches do, and I feel like 50% of them close the drapes automatically. So when I've been just wanting to turn on a light or turn off a light, automatically the drapes close, which is, of course, not necessarily the desired function. By the way, here's the view. It's nothing special, but it's nice to have a balcony. It would be nice if that was the ocean out there instead of these, I think these are apple trees maybe, but this is not bad. It's very peaceful. I'm enjoying having this separate desk space, and I keep having to remind myself that I have this space because when I come back from the theater at night and want to like organize my notes and mails and things like that, I always put my computer on the table first and then have to remind myself, no, there's a desk. Use the desk, not the table. Behind that corner is the kitchen, but I want to talk about the kitchen last. First, we're going to take a look at the bedroom here. You know, this is like the size of a Manhattan hotel room or an inside cruise cabin. And this is just one section of the suite I'm staying in. The bathroom or the bedroom also has its own television here, and this is the same view as from the balcony. Also confusing light switches. Next to the bed on both sides is a normal European outlet and 2 USB ports, as well as some more confusing light switches. And as I mentioned, a closet on this side as well. While we walk back here to the kitchen, let me just remind you to check to make sure you're still subscribed and give this video a thumbs up before you go. That's always very helpful. And let me know if you have any comments or concerns about this video in the comment section. Here we are in the kitchen. Places that I saw in New York and other cities had much smaller kitchens than this. This is pretty nice. And when you consider I'm going to be staying here for like periods of 10 days at a time, I was hoping that I was going to be able to make this really feel like home and fill up the fridge with good food. And when I would come home, I would be able to cook and make myself a nice breakfast sometimes. But there's something missing. There's a microwave, there's a fridge, and now if you look down here, you'll see a water cooker, and that's it. There's no toaster, there's no coffee machine, there's no like heating plate. I was assuming that this area was gonna at least be, you know, like 2 burners, like a stovetop, and that this was gonna be filled with pots and pans. You would kind of think that a place like this would be set up like this, but it ain't. So I've been creative with lots of different sandwich ideas and salads and anything you can warm up in the microwave, but it's not the same as really cooking, and I already miss that. I hope you don't see this as me like complaining about getting to stay in a place like this, but I was a little bit disappointed just because when I thought, okay, I'm going to be living here for, you know, several weeks at a time, I just was assuming for some reason that there's going to be a kitchen too. And I just have to like rethink my plan about how I'm going to spend the money that I'm getting for food in order to not go broke by just going out to eat and ordering liferando for every meal. Know what I'm saying? By the way, that is the theater right there. I only have to walk down the stairs and around the corner and I'm at work. As mentioned, I think this place is fantastic. It's just the fact that there's not really a kitchen. That's almost the only downside to this accommodation at all. And let me know if you agree that this definitely counts as a suite. Next week, I will be going to not only the premiere of the new Cirque du Soleil show in Berlin that Marcus has been working on, but 2 days later is also our premiere. So at the moment, the chance of there being a Sunday sofa time online on time is pretty slim, but I haven't forgotten about you, and don't worry, I'll be back soon. Thanks for spending this part of your Sunday, or whatever day it is you choose to watch this with me. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and I hope to see you back here soon, but probably not next Sunday. Bye-bye.
To being sober, we'll leave it all and say, 'cause this way we'll never sober.